In this video, we're going to review Äppelblom from Mackmyra. Mackmyra is quickly becoming one of my favorite distilleries. It's Swedish, which is already cool and different, but the thing that's cool and most different about this whiskey is that Mackmyra constantly puts out seasonal and special release whiskeys, and they're not novelties, they're actually really good. So I'm very keen to try this, which is meant to taste like apple, which hence the name, Äppelblom. But how does it taste like apple, you might ask? It's been matured in ex-calvados casks. And if you're not really up on your spirits, you might not have heard of Calvados. Calvados is a spirit they make in France. It is distilled from apple cider, which pretty exciting. What they do, they take, well, apples and then make cider in the same way that when you take whiskey, you start whiskey with beer, you start Calvados with apple cider. You take your apple cider and you distill it, and then you put it in a barrel for at least 2 years, and that gives you Calvados. This whiskey is made from ex-calvados casks, so it should taste like apple. Let's give it a go. Äppelblom from Mackmyra, and on the nose, there is no doubt that there's apple. I'm not surprised that they've called it Äppelblom. Yeah, you just apple. Not necessarily like fresh apple you've just bitten into. It's more kind of that walking through an orchard sort of, you can tell there's apple around you, but it's not overpowering fresh apple. It's just that sort of apple blossom. Really nice, wow. Definitely not a novelty apple whiskey. It's clearly apple, that apple blossom carries through onto the palate. Without a doubt, that apple is certainly still there. It's certainly sweet, again, probably because it tastes strongly of apple. The alcohol is very, very smooth, very well integrated. This is 46.1% ABV, so it's pumped up a little bit on that alcohol content, but not overpoweringly so. If you're someone that's used to drinking neat spirits, no problem drinking this. To me, very, very smooth. The body is light to medium. It's not particularly mouth coating. I guess it starts to remind me of when you're a kid and your mom buys apple juice and she's maybe dilutes it a little bit. It's kind of that kind of body. You get that sweetness, you definitely get the apple coming through, but it's not cloying, it's not mouth coating. Really nice, moves around the palate really well. So yeah, a really nice sort of light to medium body. As far as the flavor, it's certainly, as I've probably said a million times already in this video, very appley, so pronounced apple, but it's not like biting into a fresh apple. It's not that overpowering Granny Smith juicy apple. It's a little bit more complex than that. It's probably more like an apple crumble. You get sort of some vanilla, maybe a bit of caramel. No doubt you've got some fresh apple in here, but it has more complexity than just biting into an apple. It's not a one-trick apple pony. The finish is very nice, probably sort of medium finish with some complexity. It still carries through a lot of those apple notes. Yeah, this is a very good whiskey. It's different, which is something that I'm really looking for in whiskeys now. It's not something that I would typically expect from a major distillery. This is the kind of stuff that's really typically hard to find. So highly recommend if you can get your hands on a bottle of this and you enjoy whiskey and you want to experience different types and different flavors, this is definitely a good one to go for when you're able to experience exactly what whiskey is capable of and how it can do different things. Hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to follow and subscribe. We do new whiskey videos every week. Thanks for watching.